Hello and welcome back to the JC Pod. I'm your host JCP. We just hopping right into this. It just got announced. DeMeco Ryan 6-year deal with the Texans. Sean Payton, I don't know if I saw the years, but he just signed with the Broncos. The Broncos are sending over a first-round pick, second-round pick in 2023, and a 2024 third-round pick. Oh, that's what the Saints are getting back. So this is for Duff Kleiman. Broncos are sending over a first-round pick and a second-round pick in 2023, and they are getting back Sean Payton and a 2024 third-round pick. Wow, that is some major news, especially for the Texans and the Saints. But for the Texans, for DeMeco Ryan, he gets a 6-year deal. Former Texans player. It's just huge hire. He's a really good defensive coordinator. He's one of the most sought-after coordinators for a head coaching job, and yeah, that's just really awesome news for the Texans. Now with a high draft pick overall too, hopefully this is the start to turn around for them. For this signing, that makes me really scared as a division foe and my boys. He's a really good coach, so really good defensive coach of that too. And with the struggles of the Colts offense as of late, really scares me. For the Sean Payton news, really awesome news for really awesome news for the Broncos. I mean, we all saw what happened with Russell Wilson last year. And the Peyton's going to have a lot of control, I'm assuming, over the everything. I'm assuming he's going to have a lot of control over the building and what's going on and everything. But I honestly thought when Vic Fangio signed with the Dolphins, potentially he might be done. But now it's just, I don't know if he's for sure with the Dolphins now. I could see him potentially going to the Broncos. I mean, maybe not. But yeah, that's just wild news. Barely just to start the show. I was going to talk about the games that happened over the weekend, but that was too massive not to talk about. Two huge signings that I want to say culture-changing signings. The Broncos are in need of an offensive mind. Hopefully he can unlock Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson's staying there for sure. He's not going anywhere, so that's going to be huge to see what Sean Payton can get out of him. And as I said, for DeMeco Ryan and the Texans, that's a huge sign for the Texans. Hopefully they can start getting back on the right track because they had a really rough start to the... Not even a rough start. They've just had a rough few years, honestly, and now this whole new era that's going after the Deshaun Watson and everything, it's going to be really interesting to see what the brand new Texans look like. We're on to the Super Bowl. There's only 2 weeks left. I'm not going to talk about the Pro Bowl, honestly. I won't lie to you. It's nothing against the people who got named, but Derek Carr and Tyler Huntley are quarterbacks. I mean, they're alternates, obviously, because the first two guys wanted out, but yeah, I'm not going to trash the Pro Bowl or anything. I'm not going to trash those guys. I think they're good players, but I don't think they're Pro Bowl players this year. But yet again, what the Pro Bowl is kind of completely changed from what it used to be. I have no issue, like I said, yet again, I have no issue at all with Tyler Huntley. I just, he played a third of the season, if that had, I don't remember the stats, but he had 658 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, just doesn't scream Pro Bowler to you. And then on the other side, Derek Carr literally is going to represent the Raiders in the Pro Bowl after they clearly want to get rid of him. So I really hope they put an NFL logo behind him. I think that'd be the ultimate troll to do that. But just very weird, honestly. It's a very weird year for the Pro Bowl. It's going to see I don't think I got much more to say on that, honestly. But quarterback-wise, because of the injuries and everything, that's who we got left. Like I said again, I'm going to say it again just to iterate it. I'm not trashing these guys at all. They are in the NFL. They make millions of dollars, and they work really hard. So they should be happy with this honor because, yet again, there is a reason they're the alternate. There's not people better than them, apparently, behind them. So personally for me, I'm not going to touch on the Pro Bowl very much. I think it's really cool what they're going to do, though, with the 7-on-7, changing up the games a little bit. But, yeah, there's not much to talk about the Pro Bowl. I'm here for that. Not saying it's not real because obviously it's still a competition, but I'm here for the real game action and all that. So yeah, basically to hop in, we got 2 teams left. It's Kansas, Philly. We got the 2-1 seeds going at it. I'll touch on that San Francisco Philly game. It's basically over in the first quarter. Purdy torn UCL, 6 months recovery. That completely changes the whole story for the 49ers now. Are they getting Tom Brady? Is he going to back up Trey Lance? There is a lot to be questioned now with the 49ers team that just had no quarterback luck this year. As for the Eagles, very impressive win. They scored 31 on the number 1 defense in football. And, just absolutely beat the tar out of the out of the 49ers. I mean, it was 7-7 at one point, but basically once Purdy went out and the Josh Johnson came in as a backup, and then he went out and Purdy came back in and wasn't throwing. I mean, the writing was on the wall. Eagles were already up 21-7, I think, by that point as well. Just this Eagles team has been very dominant. I guess Jalen Hurts just being injured. I guess I'm just kind of an idiot, I want to say, for just he was injured. He went away for a bit. I'm not gonna name other people as well because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are kind of similar thinking as me. Kind of forgot how good the Eagles were, honestly, and they're really good. Best offensive line in football, arguably one of the best defensive lines in football, and it all starts in the trenches because they dominated the 49ers. They imposed their will on them, and it's a very well-deserved Super Bowl for the Eagles. Well, honestly, they're going to be a tough out. I'll talk about it in a minute with the Chiefs, but I want to say if it was almost any other team than the Chiefs, I would probably feel a lot more confident in picking the Eagles, but just because solely the fact that they have a bunch of really, really good players, for example, A.J. Brown, Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, Devonta Smith. Defensively, they have, even though he's old, Linval Joseph, Ndamukong Suh, Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox. I mean, they just got in the offensive line, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson. They just got names on names on names on names. And I take it back. I mean, they have probably one of the best rosters in football. I think they have probably 18 of their 22 starters could be All-Pro or Pro Bowl type players. And I mean, they have a squad. It's unbelievable how good they are. I mean, they deserve this, honestly. They had a really good season. Best team in football all year other than 3 weeks where Hurts wasn't playing because of an injury. But that's going to be the big question. Apparently, Lane Johnson retore his groin. I'll touch on this next week when more news comes out. But I'm sure he's going to play. I mean, I'm just amazed by the Eagles. People are saying they had a really easy easy way to get in there, but I don't know. I think if you look at anybody on this side of the bracket right here, I think could easily beat any of those teams by 30, no question, the way they've been playing. So I'm very impressed with how the Eagles dominated the 49ers like that, even with the injury. I mean, they saw the injury, smelled the blood in the water, and absolutely just took over. There was a drop pass by Devonta Smith that wasn't really called. They didn't challenge or anything. I mean, based on his sole reaction, I'm gonna link this into the Chiefs game, and I might touch on this a little bit later. But I mean, you saw his reaction. He dropped the ball and he's going like this, trying to get, and they're all sprinting up to get the ball. Just as a coach, that just feels like, hey, we got to throw that flag. Because you see in the Chiefs game, Andy Reid threw the flag when Tony got up, and he acted like he didn't catch the ball at all. Really, he kind of got up, wasn't really ecstatic or anything, just kind of meh. I don't know if I caught that or not. And then sure enough, they challenge it. They don't get it. Versus the 49ers just didn't challenge at all. And so this is from Ian Rappaport, just to cut it off before I get into the Chiefs-Bengals. So the Broncos spent today trying to hire DeMeco Ryans again. Today before he committed to the Texans, sources say when he agreed to terms with the Texans, he moved on. The Broncos moved on to finalize Sean Payton. So basically what it sounds like is obviously they kind of settled for Sean Payton, but those were, I think, two really good candidates. I think they just didn't want to give away the draft picks. That's insane hire. Shocking hire, honestly. But going to the Chiefs-Bengals, I'm not going to touch on any of the officiating. I think the officiating overall on the weekend was not the greatest, but I mean, NFL's just, there's not really much to say. Officiating it's not been a storyline all this year. It's been pretty well overall. I think overall the refs did really well for most of the games. Both these games had questionable calls, though, back and forth, a little bit of inconsistency, but I mean, overall, the refs didn't. At the end of the day, even as much as I could complain about the refs and how the Chiefs, how they redid a third down, that's not why the Bengals lost. I mean, even with the guy pushing the guy out of bounds, I was mad about that. I think that should be just basically it's that point in the game where it's just hey, you gotta swallow the whistle and probably not call it. But I get why that's a call. You can't do that, and to Patrick Mahomes, that's gonna happen. So I mean, I'm not shocked, but I wish the officiating was a little bit better. Apparently, there's a rumor, I don't know if this is confirmed or not, that I forget the guy's name, so I can't really tell everyone who it is, but apparently the ref that's reffing the Super Bowl has thrown the most flags in the NFL this season, and he has the crew, I think, with the most flags this season, so great awareness by the NFL with all the talk going on this weekend. But overall, going to the Chiefs-Bengals, I think that this is a really fun game to watch. This was a huge legacy game for Mahomes. I think that for me personally, he's officially entered the Brady territory when it comes to betting. I'm just done betting against this guy. I know they don't cover spreads because they get too big of spreads, but I don't think I can bet on this guy again. I think my super early pick for the Super Bowl, I'm going to pick the Chiefs just because they have the best quarterback in the league. I think he's the best quarterback in the league right now. I mean, I also think that his ankle was just a sprained ankle, not a high ankle sprain at this point, and that they just kind of misdiagnosed it at first, but then didn't want to come back and correct it. Maybe playing a little bit of cat and mouse game, but they basically, he, even with the bum ankle, lost receivers the whole game. He put on a show. I mean, literally, I was sitting there. I had money on the Bengals, and I'm just watching. It's like I felt no confidence, honestly. Not to mention that the Bengals' line basically was Swiss cheese, too. But Burrow got hit a lot in the first half. In the second half, it wasn't as bad. Game would finish, I think, 23-20. Like I said, with that very questionable play, but they would kick a field goal to go into the Super Bowl. But overall, I think the Bengals maybe talked a little too much shit, too. The whole thing with the mayor and everything. Like, the Chiefs really had a chip on their shoulder. And it's kind of my fault to even think to bet against them, too, personally, for me. Like, 5 straight AFC championships. Like, he's that dude, man. I love the storyline for this game. That's going to be Andy Reid versus Philly. I'll probably talk about that a little bit more in my show either at the end of this week or next week. But for Bengals, Cincy, I thought it was a really good game overall. Like, other than the occasional, officiating issues here and there, I thought it was really well overall. It's a really good battle between two quarterbacks. Once Joe Burrow was able to settle in a little bit, got a little bit better for him. But once they lost Tyler Boyd, that's kind of it's starting to become the writing on the wall because it seemed like that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins basically got doubled the whole game. Or I bracketed, doubled, whatever it is. Basically, tried to take them away the best they could, and then just left Hurst and everything. He had enough weapons to get the job done. There's rumors, too, that Joe Mixon is either going to have to take a pay cut or he might be gone, potentially. I don't know if that's 100% for sure. I heard the same thing similar with Dalvin Cook, too, so I could just be mixing up reports. But just Mixon got all of his carries taken away, which is very concerning. I think the total was I want to say it was almost 60-some, 30-some. It was 60-some, 30-some, I want to say, percentage for him and Samaje Perine. So that's going to be something to look forward to or not look forward to, I guess, but look into and just see for the offseason. What happens with Joe Mixon, the Bengals, because they basically just didn't play him, and he was the starter, and they put in Samaje Perine. I don't know if it's because Perine's a better pass protector or what, just very, very weird. So I thought that might be a game where Joe Mixon could get the ball on the ground and do some damage, but he had 8 carries for 18 yards, didn't do much of anything. And the overall issue is they need to get Joe Burrow an offensive line. I mean, my lord, that dude was just, he stood no chance back there. It felt like it was a one Mississippi boom getting hit. He had they said he had the fastest release with 2.4 or 2.2 seconds this season or something, second fastest, whatever it was. Felt like he didn't even have time to do that. I mean, Chiefs overall defensively did a really good job being able to get to him. Chris Jones had a really good game. Overall, they need to do a better job protecting Joe Burrow. Like I said, that's going to be the biggest issue. They have all this talent in the world. They even could get a mediocre offensive line and do something with it. Just the offensive line is butt cheeks. They need to fix it some. And the Chiefs are the deserving team going to the Super Bowl, I think. I think they played better that day. It's going to be very interesting to see what goes on in the future with the Chiefs and everything. Something awesome, too, along with the Andy Reid revenge game, we got the Kelsey Bros battling off Donna Kelsey, I believe that's her name. First mom in NFL history to ever have 2 sons playing against each other in the Super Bowl. That's pretty cool, pretty awesome. And just, basically, it was a really fun weekend. I can't believe that football is almost over. Before I finish off, though, future for my channel. College basketball is going to be taking over here soon. I'm going to be talking about that. Hopefully going to have a guest on, first guest in show history. Hopefully going to be able to have him on for at least 1 or 2 episodes before the madness begins. Overall, it's just been a really good year, man. First year building the channel, obviously, with football going on, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to next season. I think next season officially I'll have scroll bar, do better with backgrounds and everything. It's just this year, I don't know what, during the season, I just couldn't find stuff I like, so I just kind of canned it all and just you know what, we'll clean it up during the off-season. Off-season is going to be a lot of test and trial. Like I said, I'm going to split, basically, first half talking football, second half talking about other sports that are going on. I don't know what I'm going to do for sure yet with my play series, because I'll probably still be giving out just what I'm betting, what I'm thinking, but overall, man, I'm not by no means. Football's my bread and butter. College basketball, I enjoy it and follow it well, but I'm definitely no expert at it. And baseball, But yeah, it's just crazy to think that football's already almost over, like I was saying. Really fun playoffs overall, I'd say, though. There were some games, obviously, that just weren't, like the Tampa Bay-Dallas game. That was just kind of a ass-beating. San Francisco basically killed everybody they played. But overall, I thought it was a really fun playoffs. These are probably the two teams that deserve to be in the Super Bowl, like looking back on the season, how it progressed. And, yeah, my very early Super Bowl prediction, I like this game, high 20s, low 30s. I think that the Chiefs are going to win by 2 or 3 max. I just don't see myself betting against Mahomes again. He's earned the respect. I think the Eagles are the best team in football right now, overall-wise, on both sides of the ball, but I think that the Chiefs have the best player. So it's going to be really fun. It's all just going to come down to how does the ankle heal for Mahomes. And big thing for the Chiefs defense, they're going to have to stop the run. The Eagles are going to pass first and then try to establish the run. And they hopefully, if they can shut down the pass, hopefully they can shut down the run as well. But they can't allow the Philadelphia Eagles to get in the lead and then start leaning into that run game and beating them down, or it's going to be a really long game. Because I'm just really excited. This is going to be way shorter than all my other podcasts as well, just because there's only 2 games left to talk about. I'm not going to force talk any other sport just yet. So, yeah, basically that's probably what I'm going to call it for today. That's just my recap for those 2 games. For my Thursday Plays episode, I'll probably just give out... I don't know how I'm going to do that, honestly. Definitely it's going to be a TBD. I'm for sure going to have one, but I'll probably just do an early dive into the Super Bowl, see what's going on. Maybe probably do some college basketball as well. So be on the look for that for Thursday. But yeah, man, it just feels so sad that football's already almost over. Almost heartbreaking, man. The offseason just feels so long sometimes waiting for it to come back. But we still got one more exciting. We got the Pro Bowl this week upcoming, and then next week is the final week of NFL football this season. We're going to be crowned the champion. Is it going to be the Chiefs of Kansas City, who everyone, when they lost Tyreek Hill, everyone thought Mahomes was going to take a step back? Or will it be the Philadelphia Eagles with Nick Sirianni, who is a dog, and Jalen Hurts, and that whole very talented team who looks like they're going to be a young and upcoming team in the NFC? I mean, if the Chiefs win, it's a for sure cements their dynasty as controlling the AFC, and just two Super Bowls, 5 straight AFC championship appearances. I mean, they're on the brink of claiming some dynasty territory. If they do, they'll probably be the team to remember in the 2020s, potentially. Maybe not the end of 2010s into the 2020s. I'll say that. That probably feels a little more right. But is it going to be the Mahomes dynasty with Andy Reid? And the big thing, like I said, Andy Reid revenge game. Is that going to be the storyline, or are we going to have a storyline coming out where the Eagles, after having an amazing season, find themselves in the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, and yeah, if they win the Super Bowl, is it going to be a start of their dynasty? Because with how talented their roster is, they can make a run, I would think. But yeah, that's where I'm going to call it today. Like I said, thanks everyone for watching. Tune in Thursday for my JC Plays. And on Friday, I'll be appearing with Captain by a Hook with the red beard. We're going to go... He said we're going to talk Super Bowl, but I don't know how much Super Bowl we're going to talk. With a week off, probably be some college basketball as well. Just, yeah, this is some of the best time of sports seasons. Playoffs for the football, the madness and NCAA, and the madness leads into the NBA Finals, which then leads into the baseball season. So, yeah, sports are about... Winter's almost over, too. Just, yeah, very exciting time for sports and everything, and I will see everybody on Thursday.